The sun is high, and the air is heavy and hot. Naya sits in her car on the deserted highway and turns the key in the ignition for the 100th time. The engine makes a nasty, raspy sound and then stops again. She leans back in the seat and closes her eyes. Her dress clings to her back. A bead of sweat trickles down her temple. She's late. She's already 20 minutes late, and the city is still a long way off. Naya glances in the rearview mirror. The empty road fades into a heat-shimmering haze. Not a single car in sight. She bites her lip and tries to start the engine again. The same wheezing, the same silence. She slams her palm on the steering wheel and utters a few words a proper girl shouldn't know. Another 5 minutes pass. The heat becomes unbearable. Naya turns off the air conditioner to save at least a little battery life and immediately feels the car's interior turning into an oven. She unbuttons the top button of her dress and fans herself. One thought swirls through her head. He'll leave. Of course he'll leave. What kind of date is it when she's half an hour late and can't even call because she doesn't know his number? They only arranged it through an app. She looks at her phone. There's no reception. Of course not. The reception is always bad here. And now, in this heat, it's even worse. Naya exhales and rests her forehead on the steering wheel. She wants to cry, but she holds it in. She won't cry over a broken car and a ruined date. She's a grown woman. She can handle it. Another 10 minutes pass. Naya is starting to think she'll have to walk when a dot appears in the rearview mirror. The dot grows rapidly. The car moves smoothly and confidently, the driver not even slowing down on the turn. Naya glances in the mirror and sees a dark car approaching. It gleams in the sun, clean, well-maintained, completely unlike her old car, which decided to die today. The car pulls up right behind her bumper. It stops. Naya looks in the mirror and sees a man behind the wheel. Short white hair, a light jacket slung over his shoulders. He just sits there, looking ahead, at her car. He doesn't get out, doesn't honk, doesn't do anything. He just waits. The car is silent. Naya can only hear her own breathing and the pounding of her heart. She doesn't know what to do. Should she get out? Should she stay in? Should she wave? She's never been in a situation like this. In the city, there are always people, always help. But here, there's emptiness, and this man in a dark car. A minute passes, then another. The man doesn't move. Naya grips the steering wheel tighter. Sweat trickles down her back, but she no longer cares about the heat. She thinks about what might have happened if this had been a bad man. But something in his calm, in the way he simply stands and waits, tells her there's nothing to fear. The door of a dark car opens. A man gets out. He's tall. Naya notices it immediately. Tall, athletic, with broad shoulders. His beige jacket fits him perfectly, even though it's so hot outside that a normal person would have long ago taken it off and unbuttoned his shirt. His short white hair glistens in the sun. He walks calmly, unhurriedly to her car, as if he has an eternity ahead of him. Naya grips the steering wheel. He approaches her window and lightly taps his knuckles on the glass. She lowers the glass exactly halfway. "Do you need help?" he asks. His voice was low and calm. No smile, no curiosity in his eyes. Just a question, as if he stopped every day on empty roads to help strange girls. "It's stalled," Naya replies. "It won't start." He nods and gestures for her to open the hood. Naya pulls the lever, and there's a click. The man steps forward, lifts the hood, and leans over the engine. Naya gets out of the car. The asphalt is hot, even through the soles of her shoes. She walks around the car and stands next to him, but he doesn't even look at her. He's staring into the engine. He works silently, absolutely silently. No questions, no comments. He simply rolls up the sleeves of his jacket and digs deep. Naya stands nearby, unsure what to say. "Thank you? Excuse me? Are you a genius?" She looks at his hands. His fingers are strong, his movements precise. Nothing unnecessary. "The battery," he finally says. "The terminal came loose. I'll fix it now." He takes a small tool from his jacket pocket. Where it came from, Naya has no idea. The jacket fits so tightly that it's impossible to imagine how anything could fit in there. But the tool is there. Pack works quickly and confidently. A minute later, he slams the hood shut, wipes his hands on a handkerchief he takes from another pocket, and turns to face her. Their eyes meet. Naya's eyes are big and blue. So blue you could drown in them. Puck looks into them and freezes. A second. Two. He forgets what he wanted to say. He forgets where he was going. He simply looks into those eyes, and there is no longer any heat, no road, no broken car. Only her. Naya looks at him too. White hair, fair skin, a calm face. He's handsome, but his beauty is somehow unusual. Not boyish, but mature, confident, and his eyes are dark, deep. She looks into them and senses something strange, something that has no name. They stand like that for a few seconds. Then Pak looks away first. He blinks and becomes calm and collected again. "Try starting it," he says. Naya nods, gets into the car, and turns the key. The engine immediately roars to life. A smooth, calm sound fills the cabin. She breathes a sigh of relief and gets out. "Thank you," she says. "Thank you so much. I don't even know what I would do." Pak nods. He looks at her again, but more briefly this time. "It happens," he replies. "Good luck," and turns to leave. Naya looks at his back and can't believe her eyes. He's leaving, just leaving. No questions, no requests, no attempts to get to know her. She's heard so many stories from her friends about men helping her and then asking for her phone number or inviting her out for coffee. But this one just leaves. "Wait!" she calls. Pak turns around. He looks questioningly. Naya doesn't know what to say. "I want to thank you. Maybe coffee or—" She falls silent. It sounds stupid. What kind of coffee is there in the middle of an empty highway? Puck looks at her. For a second, something warm appears in his eyes, but he quickly hides it. "No need," he says. "I was glad to help." And he leaves. He gets into his car and closes the door. The dark vehicle smoothly starts to move and drives away. Naya stands on the side of the road and watches him go until the car disappears into the haze. She gets back into the car. The engine runs smoothly. She straightens her dress, looks at her watch, and clutches her head. 40 minutes. She's already 40 minutes late. Naya quickly starts driving and steps on the gas. The car responds well and drives smoothly. Apparently, this man really did fix everything properly. She's speeding down the highway, trying not to think about the date being ruined. Who would wait 40 minutes? Only a crazy person or someone who genuinely has nothing better to do. And he doesn't look like someone who has nothing better to do. His app profile says he runs his own business. People like that don't wait. Naya bites her lip. She really wanted to meet him. They'd been texting for 2 weeks, and he seemed interesting. He didn't send stupid photos, didn't make dirty jokes. He just asked about her work, what she liked, and now everything was ruined. She flies into town, parks at a restaurant, and runs out of the car. Her dress flutters in the wind. Her long black hair flutters behind her. She runs to the entrance, almost falling on her heels. The restaurant is cool and quiet. Pleasant music plays, and the scent of food and candles fills the air. Naya flies up to the hostess, breathing heavily. "I'm on a date," she breathes out. "Table for 2. I'm late. They should be waiting for me." The hostess smiles and leads her deeper into the hall. Naya walks and prays to all the gods that he won't leave, that he'll be that patient man, that he'll give her a chance. They pass between the tables. Naya sees empty seats, but the hostess leads her further, to a table by the window. A beautiful one, with a white tablecloth and a candle. Someone is sitting at the table. His back is to her. Naya exhales. He's here. He's waited. She opens her mouth to apologize, but the hostess beats her to it. "Your table. Have a nice evening." And he leaves. Naya stands and looks at the man. Short white hair, broad shoulders, a jacket she's seen before today. Her heart skips a beat. The man turns around slowly. This is him, that same driver from the deserted highway, the one who fixed her car, the one who drove away without asking for her license plate. Pak looks at Naya. His eyes first reflect surprise, then recognition, then something else, something warm and alive. "It's you," he says quietly. Naya stands there, unable to move. Out of 1,000 people in this city, out of 1,000,000 possible options, fate chose him, the man who stopped to help, who left without asking for anything in return. "It's you," she echoes. They look at each other. Music is playing in the room. Waiters are serving food. Other couples are laughing at their tables, and they stand and watch. "Sit down," says Pak, and points to the seat opposite. Naya sits up. She straightens her dress, pushes her hair over her shoulder, and looks at Pak. He looks at her. For a few seconds, they are silent. It's a strange silence. Not awkward, not heavy, more like surprised. They're both trying to understand how this could have happened, how the stranger from the highway turned out to be the very man she was supposed to meet this evening. Pak looks at her in a new way, not as a girl with a broken car, as the one he'd been texting for 2 weeks. Smart, interesting, beautiful. He'd read her messages, imagined her voice, her smile. And now he sees her alive. In a black dress, with long hair and eyes you could drown in. Naya looks at him and sees him in a new way, too. Not just a roadside helper, but a man who spent 2 weeks asking the right questions. Who listened to her stories and memorized the details. Who waited for her 40 minutes and didn't leave. I didn't know, she says finally, that it was you. Me too, Pak replies. I didn't know it was you. Naya settles herself more comfortably. The dress falls gracefully around her, the black silk gleaming in the candlelight. Puck looks at her and can't look away. She notices it. His gaze slides over her hair, her shoulders, her face. It stops at her eyes. Naya feels her cheeks begin to burn. She nervously fidgets with her napkin, unsure of what to say. I'm late, she says. Because of the car. I know, Pak replies. I was there. She smiles. He smiles back. That same smile at the corners of his lips that makes lights appear around his eyes. Do you always help strangers on the road? Asks Naya. Only those with blue eyes, Pak replies. She laughs. The tension melts away. The waiter approaches the table and offers the menu. Pak looks at Naya and waits for her to order. She takes the menu, scans it, and realizes she doesn't remember a word of it because all her thoughts are preoccupied with him. What do you recommend? She asks. Trying to say at least something, Pak shrugs. This is my first time here. Let's choose together. They lean over the menu, their shoulders almost touching. Naya smells his perfume. Light, fresh, pleasant. She inhales deeply and realizes this is the best evening of her life. The waiter stands nearby, waiting patiently. Naya looks at the menu, but the letters blur before her eyes. She doesn't want to eat at all. She wants to sit and look at this man across from her, at his calm face, his white hair, his hands that half an hour ago were rummaging around in her engine. Choose a wine, says Pak. He looks at her intently, too intently, as if he's reading her every emotion, every gesture. Naya feels his gaze on her skin. Why me? She asks. Because I don't know much, Pak replies. And you, judging by your profile, love good wine. Naya smiled. He remembered. 2 weeks of correspondence, and he remembered the small detail about her liking red wine in the evenings. She tells the waiter the type of wine. He nods and leaves. Pak continues to watch her. The way she adjusts her hair, the way she traces the rim of her glass with her finger, the way she bites her lip. Do you always look like that? Naya asks. Only when there's a beautiful woman sitting next to me, Pak replies. She laughs and shakes her head. And I thought you were a serious person. Silent. I'm different, says Pak. Right now, I'm just glad you didn't leave. I couldn't leave. My car broke down. I'm not talking about the highway. I'm talking about the fact that you sat down at this table. You saw me and didn't leave. Naya looks at him and realizes he's right. She could have left. She could have turned around and driven away, because she would have been scared by the coincidence, because she would have decided it was too weird. But she stayed. The wine arrives. Pak watches Naya taste it, nods to the sommelier, and they pour. She raises her glass, and he does the same. They clink glasses. The sound of the glass clinking echoes across the table. To the meeting, says Pak. For the broken car, Naya answers. He smiles. The same smile she'd seen on the track before, but only briefly. Now the smile lasts longer. They drink wine. Pak puts down his glass and reaches for the menu to look at the main course. Naya reaches too. Their fingers meet on the smooth paper. Naya freezes. Puck freezes too. Her fingers rest on his, and she feels warmth. Real, living warmth. She doesn't remove her hand. A second, 2, 3. Pak looks at their hands. Then he looks up at Naya. There's a question in his gaze. She responds with a slight tilt of her head. Yes, yes. He turns his palm over and takes her hand in his. He just holds it. He doesn't squeeze it. He doesn't stroke it. He just holds it, and that's enough. I've been thinking about this all day, he says quietly, from the moment I saw your eyes on the road. You left, Naya reminds me. You didn't even ask for the number, because I was scared. What? If I ask, I won't be able to leave, but I needed to go. Naya looks at him and sees that he is telling the truth. There is no lie in his eyes. Pak smiles, not just at the corners of his lips, but wide, open. Lights appear around his eyes, wrinkles that weren't visible before. He looks 5 years younger with this smile. What? Naya asks. Nothing, just good. Do you smile rarely? Rarely. There's a lot of work. What do you do? The question hangs in the air. Puck looks at her, and the smile slowly fades. Not completely. A slight trace remains. Let's just say I have my own business, he replies. It's related to real estate. Naya nods. It sounds plausible. She sees no reason not to believe it. And you? Asks Pak. A designer, right? I remember from our correspondence. Yes, interiors. I draw beautiful houses for people. Are you good at it? I think so. The clients are happy. I would like to see your work. Naya smiles. The conversation flows easily, like water in a river. They talk about her projects, his travels, the music they love. It turns out they both listen to jazz. These teats. But Pak prefers old music, while Naya prefers modern. They argue, but gently, without tension. The food arrives. Naya looks at her plate and only now realizes she's truly hungry. She hadn't eaten all day, stressed out about the date, then this trip, then the meeting. Her body needs energy. By the way, she says, chewing a piece, when did you arrive? Pak glances at his watch. Expensive, Naya notices out of the corner of her eye. Very expensive. An hour before the meeting, he answers. An hour? She's surprised. Why so early? I always arrive early. I don't like being late, and I don't like it when others wait. What if I had arrived on time? Would we have sat for an hour? I'd sit, read the news, drink coffee. No big deal. Naya shakes her head. And I arrived half an hour before the car broke down. Pak raises an eyebrow. So if it weren't for the breakdown, you would have been here before me? Yes. I don't like being late either. I just had bad luck today. Or maybe we were lucky, says Pak. If it hadn't been for the breakdown, we would have met as usual, had dinner, and then went our separate ways. And now we have a story. Naya looks at him and realizes he's right. They have a history. Unusual, strange, but beautiful. The conversation doesn't end. They talk about everything. Childhood, travel, books. Pak explains that he grew up in another city and moved here 10 years ago. Naya says she's a local and has never left, even though she always wanted to. Why didn't you leave? Asks Pak. It was scary, she answers honestly. I thought it wouldn't work anywhere else. But here, everything is familiar. And now? It's too late now. Work, friends, habits. It's never too late, says Pak. He looks at her seriously, very seriously. Naya feels goosebumps run across her skin. Not from the cold, the restaurant is warm, but from his gaze. You speak as if you know, she whispers. I know. I've changed everything many times myself. Cities, people, life. Every time it's scary. Every time it seems like it won't work out. But it does. Naya is silent. She looks at him and forgets they've only known each other for a few hours. Forgets he's a stranger from the internet. Forgets everything. There's only him, his voice, his eyes, his hands on the table. The waiter comes over to ask if everything is okay. They nod without even looking at him. They have no time for food. The evening ends too quickly. Naya looks at her watch and can't believe her eyes. They've been sitting in the restaurant for 4 hours. 4 hours fly by in the blink of an eye. We have to go, she says sadly. Pak nods. He calls the waiter and pays without looking at the bill. Naya tries to object, to offer to split it, but he only shakes his head. Next time you, he says. Next time. She finds herself liking the sound of it. They step outside. The city lights up at night, cool from the air conditioning. Naya shudders. Pak notices, but doesn't offer her a jacket. Right, they're not at that stage yet. He hails a taxi, opens the door, waits for Naya to get in. She sits down, straightens her dress, and looks up at him. Write to me, she says. When you arrive. Definitely, Pak answers. He closes the door. The taxi starts moving. Naya turns around and sees his figure in the rear window. He stands there, watching her. Just stands there. Doesn't leave. Watches. She turns away and smiles. Her heart beats very fast. Naya arrives home, undresses, and gets into the shower. The hot water washes away the fatigue and heat. She stands under the stream and replays every moment of the evening in her head. His gaze, his smile, his hand on hers. After her shower, she wraps herself in a robe, sits on the bed, and picks up her phone. There are no messages. She stares at the screen and waits. 5 minutes. 10. The phone is beeping. Photo. Naya opens the door and sees her car. The same old one that broke down during the day. The photo was taken on the same highway, only in the evening, under the streetlights. Caption. Hope she doesn't let me down tonight. Sweet dreams. Naya laughs. Loudly, out loud. She types back, thanks for today. You have no idea what a day it's been. He answers immediately. I can imagine. I was there, remember? I remember. Good night, Pak. Good night, Naya. She falls asleep with a phone in her hand and a smile on her face. Naya wakes up thinking about him in the morning. She makes coffee, gets ready for work, checks her phone every 5 minutes. He doesn't text. She doesn't text first. She doesn't want to seem clingy. The work drags on. She's drawing a bedroom interior, but her thoughts are elsewhere. She's thinking about what to wear to the next meeting, if there is one. She's wondering if he liked her. She's wondering why he hasn't written yet. She has a break at 12 o'clock. She's about to go down to the cafe across the street when there's a knock on the door. Come in, she says, without turning around. Your coffee, she hears a familiar voice. Naya turns around abruptly. Pak is standing in the doorway, holding 2 paper cups. He's wearing a light shirt, dark pants, no jacket. Simple, calm, handsome. You? She doesn't know what to say. How did you know where I work? You told me yesterday. The name of the studio. I found the rest on the internet. Naya comes closer. She takes the cup. The coffee is hot and aromatic. Did you come to bring me coffee? I came to see you, Pak corrects. Coffee is just an excuse. She looks at him and feels everything inside her melt. No one has ever done this for her. Just show up, unannounced, with coffee during her break. Do you have half an hour? He asks. We can go out and sit somewhere. Yes, Naya answers quickly. Just a minute. She grabs the bag and they walk out. There's a small park near her work. Naya often goes there during breaks, sits on a bench, and people watches. Today, she's going there with him. They buy sandwiches from the kiosk at the entrance and stroll along the paths. The sun is shining, but not as hot as yesterday. A pleasant breeze rustles the leaves. How's your car? Pak asks. It's working. Thank you. You're welcome. I like tinkering with technology. It calms me down. Do you work a lot? A lot, he nods. But I try to find time for sports. What sport? It varies. Jogging in the mornings, going to the gym 3 times a week, sometimes swimming. Naya imagines him in the pool and looks away. It's somehow awkward. And you? He asks. Are you doing anything? Yoga, twice a week. And I walk a lot. I love walking. I noticed. You walked quickly yesterday, even in heels. She laughs. It's from nerves. I always walk quickly when I'm nervous. Were you worried yesterday? Very. I was late. The car broke down. And then I saw you at the table. Pak stops and looks at her. Are you worried now? Naya looks back, the sun reflected in his dark eyes. A little, she answers honestly. He takes her hand, simply, naturally, as if it were meant to be. They continue walking, holding hands. Naya feels the warmth of his palm and thinks this is the best break of her life. Tell me about your job, she asks. What exactly do you do? Puck tenses slightly. She can feel it in the way his grip changes. Business. Various areas. Sometimes it's hard to explain in a few words. You should try it, Naya insists softly. I'm interested. Let's do it another time. He smiles. Today is too nice a day to talk about work. He changes the subject, asking about her new project. Naya answers, but a slight feeling remains inside. Why doesn't he want to talk? One evening, Naya is sitting at home, scrolling through her phone's newsfeed. A message arrives from a friend. She's sharing a screenshot of an article. Look, isn't that your new boyfriend? A friend writes. Naya opens the photo. It's Pak, same profile, same white hair. He's leaving a building surrounded by men in formal suits. The article's headline, Who Controls the City's Real Estate Market? She reads an article. It talks about a prominent businessman, his connections, his influence. Nothing concrete, just a lot of speculation. But the tone of the article is alarming. Phrases like shadowy schemes and shady partners flash by every other line. Naya looks at the photo. Pak looks serious, focused. Not like he was in the park today, she writes to a friend. It's him. But I don't know about the business. He doesn't talk. My friend immediately replies, Be careful. Guys like that look dangerous. Who knows what he's really up to? Naya puts her phone down. Her head is buzzing. She doesn't know what to think. On the one hand, he's kind, attentive, caring. He brought her coffee, holds her hand, looks at her tenderly. On the other, there's this strange avoidance of questions. This article, this look at the photo. She stays up half the night, tossing and turning and thinking. The next day, Pak comes again. He waits for her after work at the entrance. With flowers. Simple, wildflowers, inexpensive. She likes them, and he remembers them. Hello, he says, and hands over the bouquet. Naya takes the flowers, but doesn't smile. Hello? We need to talk. Pak watches closely. He immediately realizes that something is wrong. Okay, let's go sit somewhere. They go to the same park. They sit down on a bench. Naya turns to him and looks straight ahead. What are you doing, Pak? He is silent. A second? Two. I told you, business. Which one exactly? Because they write strange things on the internet. Have you read about me online? He's not angry, but rather surprised. A friend sent it to me. It talks about shady schemes and dubious partners. Pak sighs. He looks away, staring into the distance. Naya, what they write online isn't always true. I have a complicated business. There's a lot of competition, a lot of ill-wishers. Journalists write what sells. So explain it to me. Tell me the truth. He turns to her, takes her hands in his. I can't tell you everything, not now. There are things that take time. But I will never hurt you. Do you believe me? Naya looks into his eyes. They are honest. She sees it. I believe, she says quietly. But I'm scared. Don't be afraid. I'm here. He hugs her, just hugs her, and Naya feels safe. Even though her mind tells her it's stupid, the next few days fly by. Pak pops up everywhere in her life. In the morning, he sends her funny pictures. In the afternoon, he brings her lunch if he knows she's busy. In the evening, they go for walks or sit in a cafe. She arrives at work to find her favorite pastries on the table. She gets out of the shower, and he calls at that very moment to say goodnight. She says she loves rain, and the next day, he takes her out of town to watch the clouds gather over a field. Every day with him feels like a gift. He knows what she loves. He remembers the little things she forgets. The color of lipstick she wore on her first night, the type of coffee she orders, the song that played when they first kissed. They kiss on their third date. In the park, under a street lamp, when it's already dark. His lips are soft, warm. She closes her eyes and feels the ground slipping out from under her feet. After that, she can't think of anything else. He fills every thought. At work, she catches herself drawing his profile instead of interiors. At home, she looks at the ceiling and smiles. Her friends say she's fallen in love. She doesn't argue. Pak gives her flowers for no reason. Just because he was passing by and saw some beautiful ones. He brings her favorite dessert late at night because she texted him that she was sad. He listens to her chatter about work and asks the right questions. Naya feels special. The only one. The one they've been looking for their whole lives. But sometimes, when he thinks she's not looking, his face turns serious. He looks at his phone and frowns. He replies to messages briefly with one word. He disappears for an hour, then returns with a smile, as if nothing happened. She doesn't ask. She's afraid to hear the answer. She's afraid to ruin this happiness. She simply enjoys every moment while he's around. The morning begins normally. Naya wakes up, reaches for her phone, and waits for a message from Pak. He always texts first, every morning. A short, "Good morning, beautiful," or a funny picture of cats. Today, nothing. She thinks maybe he overslept. Maybe he's busy. She doesn't pay attention. She gets ready for work, drinks coffee, and drives to the studio. There's silence on the phone. At lunchtime, she can't stand it any longer and texts him herself. How are you? An hour? Two. No answer. She checks the network, reboots the phone, thinking something's broken. No, everything works. He's just silent. That evening, she texts again. Are you okay? Silence. Naya goes to bed with her phone in her hand, checking the screen every 5 minutes. She only manages to fall asleep in the early morning. The second day begins the same way. No sound, not a single message. She calls. It rings, but no one picks up. She sends a message on Messenger. The message is delivered, but no one reads it. Naya is restless. At work, she makes a mistake on a project and has to redo it. Her coffee is getting cold, but she doesn't drink it. Her colleagues ask if everything is okay. She smiles and says yes. She's lying. On the evening of the second day, she sits on her bed and stares at the wall. Terrible thoughts swirl in her head. Maybe something happened to him. Maybe he was in an accident? Maybe the article is true and he's in trouble? She calls again, long beeps, then short ones. Then a voice on the payphone says the number is temporarily unavailable. Naya closes her eyes and feels a tear run down her cheek. She doesn't know what to think. They were so close. So many days of happiness. And suddenly, emptiness. As if he never existed. It's the night of the second day. Naya isn't sleeping. She's lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling. The apartment is quiet, except for the ticking of the kitchen clock. She's no longer crying. There are no tears left. She's just staring, waiting for who knows what. There is a ring at the door. Naya jumps up. Her heart is pounding somewhere in her throat. She looks at her watch. It's 12:30. Who could be there at that time? The bell rings again. She gets up, throws on a robe, and goes to the door. She looks through the peephole. Pak is standing on the threshold. He looks terrible. There are dark circles under his eyes. His shirt is wrinkled, and his hair is disheveled. Usually collected and calm. Now he looks like a man who hasn't slept for days. Naya opens the door. She stands and looks at him. Her head is empty. She doesn't know what to say, swear or cry. Sorry, Pak says. His voice is hoarse and tired. Can I come in? She steps aside. He enters, closes the door behind him, and leans against the wall. He closes his eyes for a second. Where have you been? Naya asks quietly. I called. I wrote. 2 days. I know, he replies. I saw all the messages. I couldn't answer. Why? He opens his eyes and looks at her. His gaze is tired, but warm. There were urgent matters. Very serious ones. I couldn't risk your peace of mind. My peace of mind? Naya doesn't understand. What does this have to do with me? If I had answered, if I had written even a word, they would have found out about you. Who are they? Pak is silent. He looks at her and remains silent. Naya feels anger rising inside her. You have to explain it to me, Pak. I can't do this. Disappear for 2 days, then reappear and speak in riddles. He comes closer, takes her hands. His palms are cold. I can't tell you everything. Not now. But believe me, I did this to protect you. You are the most precious thing I have. I won't let anything happen to you. Naya looks into his eyes. She sees fatigue, pain, and sincerity in them. Are you okay? She asks quietly. I will, he replies. Now that I'm here. She hugs him. She feels him exhale and relax in her arms. They stand like that in the hallway, in the middle of the night, and Naya realizes she has forgiven. She has simply forgiven. A few days later, Pak invites Naya over. She's worried all day. What's it like? How does he live? Will it be cozy or cold? Like a museum? He picks her up after work. They drive through the city center, then to a quiet neighborhood with lots of greenery and old houses. The car stops at a beautiful building with large windows. Here? Naya asks. Yes. Top floor. They go up in the elevator. Pak opens the door and lets her go first. Naya steps in and freezes. Instead of the gloomy lair she'd somehow expected to see, she found a bright, spacious apartment. Large, floor-to-ceiling windows, soft lighting, and plenty of air. The walls were light, the floor wooden. No heavy furniture, no dark corners. Naya walks inside. She sees shelves of books. Lots of them. All different kinds. She sees a piano in the corner, black and shiny. She sees paintings on the walls. Not reproductions, real ones, with captions. Do you play? She asks, pointing to the piano. A little. I'm learning little by little. It's hard to find the time. She comes closer. She runs her finger over the keys. The sound echoes throughout the room. It's beautiful here, she says honestly. Really beautiful. I thought it would be different. How? I don't know. Darker. Sterner. Pak smiles. He sits down on the sofa, gesturing for her to sit next to him. I love light and space. At work, it's too dark and cramped. At home, I want to relax. Naya sits down next to him. She looks around again. She sees the book she recommended on the table. She sees a photograph, an elderly woman who looks like Pak. She sees fresh flowers in a vase. Do you live here alone? Alone. Never brought anyone. Even friends? I don't have many friends. I have partners. I have acquaintances. I have almost no friends. Naya looks at him and realizes how little she knows about this man. He opens up to her piece by piece, slowly, and each piece brings him closer. They often go out together, to restaurants, to the cinema, just for walks. Naya is used to people sometimes looking at Pak. He's noticeable, tall, with white hair and a confident gait. But lately, the looks have changed. Leaving a restaurant one evening, Naya notices a couple on the sidewalk. They're young, a boy and a girl. They're looking at Pak and whispering. The girl nudges the boy and points in their direction. Look, it's Pak, she whispers. But Naya hears. The very same one. The guy nods. They watch them go as Pak and Naya get into the car. What was that? Naya asks as they set off. What exactly? They were whispering. They were looking at you. The girl said, the one. Pak shrugs, his face calm. People love to discuss. I'm famous in some circles. In what circles? Business. Real estate. You read that article. Naya is silent. She read the article, and several more later, secretly from him. Nothing specific, but the same tone everywhere. He's influential. He's dangerous. It's best not to mess with him. Does this bother you? Pak asks. Naya answers honestly. I'm not used to people looking at me like that. It will pass. People quickly get used to new things. He takes her hand and squeezes it. Naya looks out the window and thinks about what she's gotten herself into. It happens a week later. They're strolling along the embankment in the evening. It's warm, there aren't many people, and the streetlights are glowing. Naya holds Pak's arm and tells him about her new project. He listens attentively, as always. Two men emerge from the darkness. They walk straight toward them, without turning. They look ordinary. Jackets, jeans, not young, but not old either. At first, Naya doesn't notice, as there aren't many people out and about. But Puck tenses. She feels it. His hand hardens, he stops, and pushes Naya back slightly. Pak, says one of the men. We need to talk. Not now, Pak answers calmly. Right now. We've been waiting. Naya looks at them, then at Pak. His face has changed. It's become hard, cold, a different man. I said, not now, Pak repeats. The man opens his mouth to say something else. Pak raises his hand, just a gesture, palm forward. The man stops mid-sentence, just stops, as if his mouth had been shut. Go away, Pak says quietly. We'll talk tomorrow. The men exchange glances. Then the one who spoke nods and turns away. They leave as quickly as they appeared, disappearing into the darkness. Pak takes Naya's hand, firmly, almost painfully, and quickly leads her toward the car. She practically runs after him in her heels. Pak, she tries to say. Wait, who is this? Later, he says. They get into the car. He starts the engine and drives off the embankment so fast the tires squeal. Naya looks at him and sees the muscles in his jaw twitching. He's angry, or afraid. She can't tell. Pak, please, she says quietly. Tell me. He exhales, slows down, turns to face her for a second. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to see that. What was that? The people I work with, or rather, don't work with, complicated relationships. Are they dangerous? Pak is silent for a long time. A very long time. Naya already thinks he won't answer. Yes, he says finally. They're dangerous. That's why I don't want you around when such encounters happen. Is that why you disappeared then? For 2 days? Yes. There were things to do. Dangerous things. I couldn't risk you. Naya leans back in her seat. Her head is a mess. She's in love with a man who associates with dangerous people, who disappears and reappears, who doesn't tell the whole truth. They arrive at Naya's house. They go up to the apartment. Pak sits down on the sofa, covering his face with his hands. Naya stands across from him, looking at him. She waits. A minute passes. 2. You promised to explain, she says quietly. Now is the time. Pak removes his hands. He looks at her. There's weariness and something else in his eyes. Doom. What I do is hard to explain, he begins. I have a business, but it's not entirely clean. There are people who want to take it away. There are people who want to fight me. There are those who want to use me. Are you a criminal? Naya asks bluntly. Pak looks into her eyes. Legally, sometimes yes. In good conscience, no. I don't do what I consider bad. But my methods aren't always liked by others. Are you dangerous? For enemies, yes. For you, no. Never. Naya is silent. She looks at him and sees a man. Not a gangster, not a mafioso, not a movie villain, just a confused man who wants to be loved. Why are you telling me this? She asks. You could have gone on lying. Because you asked, because you deserve the truth, and because… He trails off. What? Because with you, I'm just someone who fixes cars and likes coffee in the morning. Not a boss, not an authority, not a problem, just Pak. Naya looks at him and feels her insides twist. She believes him. It's stupid, it's dangerous, but she believes him. They spend the night together, just lying there, hugging. Naya barely sleeps. She's thinking. In the morning, she gets up before Pak. She stands in the kitchen, making coffee, and looks out the window. He comes out in half an hour. He comes up to me and hugs me from behind. How are you? He asks quietly. Naya turns to him. I need to think. Alone. Pak freezes. He looks attentively. Do you want me to leave? Yes. For a couple of days. I need to figure out if I can live with this. With you and your life. He nods. Slowly removes his hands. He goes into the room and gets dressed. He stops at the door. I'll call, he says. No need. I'll write it myself when I'm ready. Pak looks at her for a long time. Then he opens the door and leaves. Naya stands in the hallway and listens to the footsteps fade away. Then she closes the door, slides down to the floor, and cries. The day without Pak drags on endlessly. Naya paces the apartment, not knowing what to do with herself. She tries to work, but it doesn't work. She tries to read, but the letters blur. She tries to eat, but the food won't go down. She looks at the sofa where he sat, at the mug from which he drank coffee, at the pillow on which the scent of his perfume lingers. Everything reminds her of him. Her friends call, but she doesn't pick up. She doesn't know what to say. That she's fallen in love with a dangerous person and now doesn't know how to live on? On the evening of the second day, she lies down on her bed and looks at the ceiling. She remembers his smile, his hands, the way he looked at her, the way he brought coffee to work, the way he brought her flowers for no reason, the way he said she was the most precious thing in life. And he understands. She's in love, not with his status, not with his money, not with the danger, with him, with Puck, with the man who fixes cars and loves coffee in the morning, with the one who was tired and silent, with the one who disappeared to protect her. She grabs her phone. The clock shows 4:30 in the morning. She types one word and hits send. Come. Dawn is just breaking outside. The sky is brightening. The birds are waking up. Naya is sitting on the bed, clutching her phone. The message has been sent, but there's no response. 5 minutes pass. 10. She begins to think that he won't come, that he's offended, that he's tired of her doubts. There is a ring at the door. Naya jumps up, runs to open the door. Pak is standing on the threshold, in the same clothes he had on yesterday. There are circles under his eyes. He hasn't slept. He has been waiting. They look at each other for a second. Then Naya throws herself into his arms. She hugs him tightly, as if she's afraid he'll disappear again. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm sorry I sent you away. I'm a fool. Pak hugs me back, holding me close and stroking my hair. You're not stupid. You were scared. That's normal. I love you, Naya says. I love you, no matter what. Pak freezes. Then he pulls away and looks into her eyes. What did you say? I love you. Paka. Not the businessman, not the boss. Just you. He looks at her for a long, long time. Then his face changes. The fatigue disappears. The tension vanishes. A smile appears. That same one, at the corners of his lips, that makes rays of light appear around his eyes. I love you too, he says. Ever since that day on the track, since your first blue eyes. They stand in the hallway, hugging. The dawn breaks outside the window, golden light falling on the floor. Naya feels the warmth of his body, hears the beating of his heart. She feels good, calm, finally. You weren't sleeping? She asks. No, I was waiting. All night? All night. And yesterday. And the day before. I knew you would write. Where? I just knew. You're strong. You don't run away from problems. Naya smiles. She pulls away and looks at him. Are you hungry? There is a little. Let's go. I'll make breakfast. They go into the kitchen. Naya takes out eggs, vegetables, and bread. Pak sits at the table and watches her cook, silently, with a smile. What? She asks, turning around. Nothing. I'm admiring it. She blushes, turns back to the stove. The eggs sizzle in the frying pan. The smell of fresh bread. An ordinary morning. The most ordinary, but somehow special. They have breakfast together. They talk about trivial things, about the weather, about their weekend plans, about what movie to watch tonight. No danger, no secrets, just them. I have a surprise for you, says Pak as they finish their coffee. Which? Let's go outside. Naya is surprised. She quickly dresses and they go out into the yard. It's Saturday morning, quiet, no one is around. The sun is already up, but it's not hot yet. She looks around, nothing unusual. Trees, benches, parked cars. Where's the surprise? She asks. Pak points. Naya turns and sees. There's a car parked at the entrance. New, shiny, beautiful. And on the hood is a huge silver bow. A real one, just like in the movies. This! She can't believe her eyes. This is for me? For you, Pak answers. But why? I have a car. You fixed it. That one will break again. But this one will never break, just like me. Naya looks at him, then at the car, then back at him. Her eyes sting, tears welling up. Pak, go and have a look. She approaches the car, runs her hand over the hood. Beautiful, very beautiful. She doesn't even know what to say. You're crazy, she says through tears. I know, She laughs. Tears are streaming down her cheeks, but she laughs. Because she's happy. Because he's here. Because this is all real. Pak comes closer. He takes the keys out of his pocket and hands them to her. They shine in the sun. Brand new, with a keychain. Here you go, he says. Mistress! Naya takes the keys. She squeezes them in her palm. She looks at them, then at Pak. I don't know how to thank you. No need. Just be happy. I'm happy. Right now. With you. He smiles. He hugs her. They stand by the car, and Naya feels tears welling up in her eyes again. But these are good tears. Tears of joy. Shall we go for a ride? Asks Pak. Now? Why not? It's morning. The city is waking up. You can take your coffee with you. Naya looks at him, at the car, at the sun above the houses. Let's go. They stop at a small coffee shop near the park. They get 2 cups of coffee and croissants. Then Pak takes her to the embankment, where no one is around at such an early hour. He parks right by the water. He gets out and opens the door for her. Naya gets out and they sit on the hood together, right on the warm metal, next to the bow. The coffee is hot and delicious. The croissants are crisp. The city is waking up behind them. But here, by the water, it's quiet and calm. Thank you, Naya says quietly. For everything. Thank you, Pak replies. For believing. For staying. She rests her head on his shoulder, closes her eyes, hears his heartbeat, evenly, calmly, feels his warmth. What happens next? She asks. I don't know, Pak answers honestly. But we'll be together. That's the main thing. Naya smiles. She opens her eyes and looks at the water. The sun rises higher, gilding the waves. A good day. The best. I love you, Pak, she says. I love you, Naya, he replies and kisses the top of her head. They sit on the hood, drink coffee, and look out over the city. Their whole lives lie ahead. Difficult, dangerous, varied, but together. And together, everything works out. They sit on the hood of the new car, and Naya feels the tension of the last few days melt away. Pak's shoulder is firm and reliable. The coffee warms her palms. The city awakens slowly, reluctantly. The first passers-by appear on the embankment. Do you know what I was thinking when you didn't answer for 2 days? Naya asks. About what? I thought you were gone forever. That it was all a dream. That I made you up. Pak turns his head and looks at her. I will never disappear forever. You can be sure of that. How should I know? I know almost nothing about you. He's silent. Then he puts his glass on the hood and takes her hand. What do you want to know? Everything. Where you come from. Where your parents are. Why your hair is white at 28. What happened in your life that made you who you are? Pak looks at the water. He's silent for a long moment. Naya already thinks he'll avoid answering again. I was born in a small town, he begins quietly. An ordinary family. An ordinary childhood. My hair has been like this since birth. It just lightened over time. No magic involved. And the parents? My mother died when I was in school. My father drank, heavily. I left as soon as I could. Naya squeezes his hand. She didn't expect such frankness. Sorry. No need. That's life. Everyone has hard times. And then? Then I came here. I worked wherever I could. I built, loaded, and guarded. Then I started my own business. Small at first, then bigger. And here you are, with dangerous people and secrets. Pak grins. With secrets, yes. Danger is not a choice, but a consequence. Do you regret it? About what? About how it all turned out. He thinks. The wind rustles his white hair. No, I don't regret it, because if things had turned out differently, I wouldn't have met you on that highway. Naya smiles. She lays her head back on his shoulder. What if I had left? What if I hadn't agreed to the date? You would have agreed. I read your messages. You wanted to meet. Arrogant. Realist. She laughs. She finishes her coffee and puts the empty cup next to his. Where are we going? Do you want me to show you the city? Not the center, but the places where I grew up, where I worked, where I started. Naya looks at him with surprise. Do you really want to show me this? Yes. You said you wanted to know everything. I'll show you. They get into the car, Pak starts the engine, and they drive off from the embankment. The city is just beginning. Sunday morning, empty streets, clear skies. They drive through the center, then turn into a neighborhood Naya doesn't know. Old houses, narrow streets, shops on the ground floors. I lived here for the first 2 years, says Pak, pointing to a gray 5-story building. My room was in a communal apartment. The neighbors were noisy. There were cockroaches. Cockroaches? There were. I learned to live with them. Then I earned enough money to buy a decent apartment. They drive on. Pak shows them the market where he worked as a loader. He shows them the construction site where he worked as a laborer. He shows them the small cafe where he ate lunch every day because it was cheap. Naya looks and understands that this man has been through a lot. Through dirt, hard work, humiliation, and he became who he is. He didn't break, didn't become embittered, didn't lose himself. "You are strong," she says. "No, just stubborn." It's one and the same. They stop at a park, small, old, with peeling benches. "I kissed a girl for the first time here," says Pak. "I was 16. She said my lips were cold." "And what did you do?" "I went home to warm up." Naya laughs. She imagines him at 16, with white hair, embarrassed, funny. "Were you nice?" "I was weird. White hair was rare back then, and I was teased." "And now?" "Now they say it's stylish." "That's right. Stylish." He smiles. He kisses her. His lips are warm, not cold at all. They're strolling through the park. The few passers-by glance at them. The tall couple, the white hair, the black dress, the new car at the entrance. But Naya doesn't care. She's happy. "Thank you," she says, "for this morning, for your candor. I should have told you earlier. I was afraid you'd be scared." She got scared, but she didn't leave. "I noticed." They sit down on a bench. The sun rises higher. It becomes warmer. Naya takes off her light jacket, remaining in a simple t-shirt. "You have beautiful hands," says Pak. "Is it true?" "Yes. Thin, long fingers. The hands of an artist. I draw not with my hands, but with my head. With your hands, too. You move the pencil, and beauty is born." Naya is embarrassed. She's not used to compliments, especially not ones like this. "You speak like a poet." "No, I'm just saying what I see." They are silent. A good silence. Calm. Naya thinks about how strange life is. Just a month ago, she was alone. Work, home, rare meetings with friends, and now she's sitting in an old park with a man who has turned everything upside down. "Let's go to my place?" Pak suggests. "I'll make dinner." "Can you cook?" "I can. I lived alone for many years." "Then let's go." They return to the car. Pak opens the door for her, just like the first time, and Naya feels that warmth inside her again. Care, attention, tenderness. They're heading to his place, to that same bright apartment with the piano and books. Pak leads her inside and helps her take off her jacket. "Make yourself comfortable," he says. "I'm in the kitchen." Naya paces the room, looking at books, classics, history, a little science fiction. She looks at the piano, opens the lid, and runs her finger across the keys. The sound is soft, beautiful. "Play something," Pak asks from the kitchen. "I can't." "Try." She sits down at the instrument. She learned a little as a child, but has forgotten it all. She tries to find a melody, but it comes out clumsy and funny. Pak comes out of the kitchen, stands behind her, and puts his hands on top of hers. "Let's do it together." He guides her fingers, pressing the keys. A simple melody plays, childish but beautiful. Naya feels his breath on her neck, the warmth of his body. "You can play," she says. "A little. Mom taught me." "Did she play?" "Yes. She played well. I remember falling asleep to her music." Naya falls silent. She doesn't want to reopen old wounds. "Play it yourself," she asks. Pak sits down next to her and begins to play. The melody is more complex, sadder. Naya listens and feels tears welling up in her eyes. Not from sadness, but from beauty. He finishes. He turns to her. "Did you like it?" "Very. You are talented." "No, just stubborn." She laughs. She hugs him. They sit there by the piano, and Naya thinks this is the strangest and most wonderful day of her life. "Let's go eat," says Pak, "or else it will get cold." He made pasta, simple, with vegetables and sauce. Naya tries it, and is surprised. It's delicious. "You can do everything," she says with her mouth full. "Not all, but I try. You fix cars, cook, play, run a business. What else?" "I play sports. I read books. I sleep sometimes." "I sleep sometimes, that's for sure. I have dark circles under my eyes." "I was worried about you." "Stop it. I told you I forgive you." "That's not what I meant. I was worried I scared you, that you'd think I was crazy or a criminal." "You are the criminal," Naya says seriously. Pak freezes. He looks at her. "In the sense that you're breaking the law, yes. But I told you I don't care." "Why?" "Because I see you. Not business, not status, not danger. You." Pak is silent. Then he puts down his fork and takes her hand. "You have no idea how important this is to me. That you're saying this. I can imagine. Because it's important to me too, to be seen. Not as a designer, not as a girl with blue eyes, just me. I see, he says. You are Naya. You draw beautiful houses. You love the rain and are afraid of spiders. You chew your pen when you think. You smile in your sleep. How do you know about the dream? I saw you. You were sleeping on my shoulder in the car. Were you peeping? I admired it. She blushes and looks away. Come on, eat. He laughs. They finish eating, washing the dishes together. It feels strange, homey, cozy, as if they've been doing this for 1,000 years. In the evening, they take another stroll, this time through his neighborhood, quiet and green. Pak shows him the school where he learned the language, the gym where he worked out, the store where he bought groceries. Did you grow up in this area? No, I came here as an adult, but it became mine. Here, for the first time, I felt like I had a home. And now? Now home is where you are. Naya stops, looks at him. Are you serious? Quite. She doesn't know what to say. Words like that aren't said lightly. She feels her heart beat faster. Pak, be quiet. You don't need to say anything. Just know. They move on. The sun sets. The streetlights come on. The city prepares for the night. Stay tonight, Pak asks. Just sleep next to me. I want to wake up and see you. Fine. He has a guest room, but they sleep in his bedroom, together, just holding each other. Naya falls asleep to the sound of his heartbeat and thinks this is the best decision of her life. In the morning, she wakes up first. She lies there and looks at him. Sleeping Pak looks younger, without that constant tension, without control, just a boy with white hair. He opens his eyes. Have you been looking for a long time? Not good. And how? Beautiful. He smiles. He reaches out to her and kisses her forehead. Good morning. Kind. Coffee? Let's. He gets up and goes to the kitchen. Naya hears him fiddling with the sezvi, pouring water. She feels good, calm. She comes out to him. She sits down at the table. He places a cup in front of her. Perfect coffee, with foam, just the way she likes it. You remembered. Certainly. They're having breakfast, talking about plans. She has work, he has meetings. An ordinary morning for ordinary people. Only they're not ordinary. They're special. I'll call this evening, Pak says when she's getting ready. I am waiting. And Naya? What? I love you, she smiles. I know. I love you too. He walks her to the door, kisses her goodbye, long, tenderly. Then she leaves, and there's warmth in his chest. At home, she goes over everything that happened in her head, the weekend that changed everything, his revelations, his past, his tenderness. She picks up her phone and texts her friend. I've decided everything. I'm with him. The friend immediately answers. Are you sure? Yes, 100%. Then I'm happy for you. Be happy. Naya smiles. She puts the phone down and looks at the ceiling. She's happy, truly, for the first time in her life. In the evening, Pak calls. He says he misses me. He asks how my day was. He talks about his meetings, without details, but warmly. Are you coming tomorrow? He asks. If you call. I'm calling. Then I'll come. I'll meet you after work. Agreed. She goes to bed with a smile. She falls asleep quickly and dreams. Good, bright dreams about him. In the morning, she gets ready more carefully than usual. She chooses a dress, puts on makeup, and stands in front of the mirror for a long time. She wants to please him, although she knows he doesn't care. He loves her no matter what. Work drags on slowly. She glances at her watch every half hour. Clients call, she answers, but her thoughts are far away. Time seems to stand still. Finally, it's 6 o'clock. She flies out of the studio. He stands at the entrance with flowers. Simple, wild flowers, just the way she likes them. Hello? Hello? They hug. People pass by, some turn around. They don't care. Where are we going? To my place? Let's watch a movie? With pleasure. They go to his place. They come in. He makes tea. He turns on a movie, an old comedy she loves. They sit on the couch, hugging. You know, says Naya, says he, I thought things like this only happened in the movies. What exactly? This. Happiness. When you just sit and feel good. For no reason. It happens. I didn't know before. Now I find out with you. She kisses him. The film plays in the background. They don't pay attention to it. They talk, laugh, are silent. Every moment matters. The night passes quickly. In the morning, Naya wakes up and realizes she's home, in this apartment, with this person. This is her place. I'll move in with you, she says at breakfast. Pak freezes with his cup. What? I'll move, if you invite me. Are you serious? Quite. He looks at her, for a long time. Then he smiles. I've been calling you since the first day. I was just afraid of scaring you away. Didn't scare me. Then yes, move in, today. Fast. I've been waiting all my life. Naya laughs. She feels light and happy. She makes a decision and doesn't hesitate for a second. A week later, she moves her things. It's not much. Pak's apartment is big, there's plenty of space. He helps, carrying boxes, laughing at the amount of shoes. You'll need a separate room for your shoes. Be envious in silence. They're setting up their shared space. Naya hangs her paintings, arranges her books, and brings in her favorite pillows. The apartment is changing, becoming warmer and more comfortable. I like it, says Pak. It's like it's always been this way. Is it true? Yes. You make this house come alive. They dine by candlelight on their first evening together, like in a restaurant, only better, because it's home. For us, says Pak. For us, Naya answers. They clink glasses of wine. Outside the window is the city at night. The room is warm and light. They feel good. Very good. A month passes. 2. Life settles into a routine. Naya works, and so does Pak. They spend the evenings together. They walk, watch movies, cook. Sometimes people come to see him. Serious men in suits. Naya goes into another room. Doesn't disturb them. He trusts them. One day Pak says, I want you to meet my partner. The closest one. For what? Because you are important to me. Both of you. Naya agrees. The meeting takes place at a restaurant. Her partner turns out to be an older man, polite and calm. They talk about life and work. No threats, no crime, just dinner. She's a good one, Paku's partner says when Naya goes to the bathroom. Hold on to her. I'm holding on. She comes back, sees their gaze, and feels accepted. At home, she asks, does he know about us? He knows. I tell him everything. Even about where I work? Yes. It's safe. He's one of our own. Naya nods. She's surprised that someone knows about her, but it's nice. So he's serious. They go to bed. She falls asleep snuggled up to him. She thinks about how life has changed, and about how she regrets nothing. A surprise awaits her in the morning. Pak got up early and made breakfast. There are flowers, coffee, and fresh croissants on the table. What's the reason? Naya asks in surprise. We've been together for 3 months. Do you think so? Since that day on the track, she smiles and sits down at the table. You are incredible. No, I just love you. They're having breakfast, discussing plans. Vacation is in a month. They want to go to the seaside. It's their first time together. Can you swim? Asks Pak. I can. And you? I'm drowning. But with you, it's not scary. I will save. Agreed. They laugh. The sun shines through the window. The city hums outside. They feel good, calm, safe. Naya thinks that this is happiness. Not in gifts, not in money, not in status. In this. In morning coffee. In his smile. In the hand that holds hers. I love you, Pak. I love you, Naya. And that's all it takes. Another 3 months pass. They've gotten used to each other, learned all their habits, learned to compromise and make peace after minor squabbles. Life has become ordinary, but Naya likes this ordinariness. She wakes up next to him every morning and falls asleep in his arms every evening. Pak gradually opens up to her more and more. He talks about his affairs without going into detail, but he's stopped hiding his phone and leaving to talk. Sometimes Naya even attends meetings with his people, sitting in a corner with a book, pretending not to listen. They've grown accustomed to her, nodding when she enters and greeting her respectfully. One evening, Pak comes home from work earlier than usual. He looks tired, but his eyes are shining. What happened? Naya asks. Something has ended. Something that had been going on for years. Bad or good? Good. Very good. I'm freer now. She comes up to him and hugs him. I'm glad. Me too. And you know, I thought... He falls silent. He takes a small box out of his pocket. Naya looks at it and stops breathing. I thought I don't want to lose you. Ever. Do you agree to become my wife? She opens the box. Inside is a ring. Simple, silver with a small stone. Not pretentious, not flashy. Her style. Pak? I'm not asking for an answer now. Think about it as long as you need. Just know that I want to be with you always. Naya looks at the ring, then at him, at his tired eyes, at his white hair, at the hands holding the box. Yes, she says. What? Yes, I agree. I don't need to think. He smiles. He puts the ring on her finger. It fits perfectly. Did you know? No, but I was waiting. I didn't know I was waiting, but I was. He laughs. He hugs her, spins her around the room. Naya laughs, pounding her fist on his back, asking him to put it down. I love you, he says. I love you very much. I know. Me too. That evening, they call her friends. They shriek into the phone, demanding details, congratulating her. Then he calls his people. His words are curt and dry. But Naya can see he's pleased. At night, they lie in bed and make plans. A wedding. Small, just close friends. A trip to a warm place with the sea. Children. Someday. Not right away. But definitely. Aren't you afraid? Pac asks. What? My life. My affairs. It was scary. It's over. I know you'll protect me. I will protect you. At the cost of everything. Not at the cost of everything. You just need to be there. He kisses her on the forehead. You are the best woman in the world. I know. She laughs. He laughs too. Outside the window is the city at night. In the room there is peace and quiet. They are happy. Together. Forever.